Sean, when you look at the rookies, a lot of times these were the best players at their places, and I don't know how much those guys did special teams. Is it new for a lot of them, or is there some background?
I think there's a pretty good base and background. I mean, at some point in their career, through their 4 years or 2 or 3, 4 years, wherever they were in college, I mean, they've went through drills and have some kind of a basis for what they're doing. I mean, they've picked it up pretty well as a group, and I think Goody in the front office did a great job of identifying guys that can help in all phases, and have done a good job there. So they're doing a nice job picking things up.
What's the challenge of having a 90-man roster and trying to throw together special teams plans this time of year? It's a lot of guys that run in and out.
There's a lot of moving parts. I mean, you were trying to drill guys and just get the base fundamentals down. I mean, we installed some scheme things in phase 1. We carried that through to fundamentals in phase 2 and through the voluntary mini camp, and now we're just kind of continuing to progress our system. But we're really focused on the spring of getting fundamentals and doing a lot of drill work with some teamwork added in there. We do walkthroughs, we do a lot of 2 spots, so guys are getting more mental reps and things like that. So we're trying to be as proactive as we can be to split things up and get guys as many reps as we can and roll guys through, but we're really just trying to emphasize the fundamentals right now with drill work.
Are you evaluating guys at all? Or is it really just teaching the stuff and then evaluating whether they can do it?
I think it goes hand in hand. I mean, as we're installing things and getting the base fundamentals and the base schemes down and getting their base knowledge down, but I think we're always evaluating how guys learn and their athleticism and drills. I mean, we put them through a lot of drills, especially early on, to see guys change direction in their athleticism, and I think you're always formulating, or on a daily basis you're seeing how guys learn and how they move and do those things. And so I think that there's always an evaluation every day. We always tell them, I mean, you're always being evaluated every day, so bring your A game every day.
Sean, at this point, kickers want to save their legs, obviously, as it goes on. So where are you at with learning Mason and Sam and what you want to see out of them in this kind of 4-week period here?
Yeah, we've just been really focused on letting them, kind of get back in their groove and striking the ball and feel good with the operation. We're, been doing some snap hold kicks, through the phase 2, and just letting them get used to each other right now and just kind of getting the base down, and we're not really worried about the operation time so much right now, but just letting them feel good about the operation and striking the ball and cleaning things up there. So they've been progressing really well.
How much are you able to evaluate your punter this time of year as opposed to when the reps get live and you put the pads on in August?
Again, he's kind of getting into things. I mean, he was punting before he got here, and through the phase 1, they worked out on their own, and then phase 2, we're working on some different things. We just want to try to develop with him and continue his progression, as he goes through and stuff. I mean, he's obviously got a lot of talent, and we're working on some things right now. So if he doesn't have a great day hitting the ball, we know that it's all part of the plan to get better. Because again, we want him to kick well at the beginning of September when the first game rolls around. So we're working on some things now to help him do that.
Sean, do you go back and watch all of Mason's kicks, for example? Is that something that you did?
Yeah, we've watched. I mean, just as I learn the guys and evaluate everybody in the field goal protection, those kind of things, we'll watch all of his kicks and just learn how he approaches the ball and different things, steps and those kind of things. And I'm not a kicking guru. I mean, I know enough to help him and things like that. And as we talk and stuff, as we talk, we'll learn. Here's some problems we've had in the past to look for and things like that. But
because he has all these games in a row where he's really good, and then he'll have one game like in Detroit last year where it just goes haywire, and I'm curious what you think you can do or who you can get in with to make sure that kind of thing doesn't happen.
He's a pro's pro. I mean, he usually knows his swing better than anybody, and so it's all part of the snap and the hold. Help the kick. I mean, so they've all got to work together on those things, and that's sometimes maybe not what everybody sees and stuff. So, I'm confident in his ability, and he's obviously confident that he goes in thinking he's going to make every kick, and so do I.
Do you have a basic idea of returners already, or is that going to?
We're trying a whole host of guys. I mean, we're giving everybody the opportunity that's done it. I mean, we're letting them. Through phase 1, they can't do anything. In phase 2, they can't catch balls off jugs. So this is really the first opportunity they've had through the voluntary mini camp and through these first 2 OTA practices to actually catch a ball off jugs or off a foot and stuff. So we're throwing a lot of guys back there and giving them a lot of opportunities, and then we'll continue to drill them and carry it on through training camp and stuff. But we're evaluating a whole bunch of guys.
Back to JK, I'm guessing that you've watched his punts from last year too.
Mm-hmm.
You can obviously kick the ball, but if you look at the numbers, by the end of last year, they were pretty poor. What do you think you might have there?
I think he's just, he's learning how to go through a 16-game season, through the whole preseason and stuff, and just learning how to pace himself during the week and get the right number of kicks in and the right number of punts. And I think he's just learning. That's the evolution of guys that as they are young guys and become older guys in the league, they learn their swing and learn how to get better throughout the season and how to maintain things and continue to progress through the season. So he's very talented, and he'll continue to get better.
With regards to your scheme and your plan, do you have any sense of, as far as the guys that were here last year and are doing stuff on special teams, just how new the stuff is that you're introducing to them, or how much maybe they don't have to learn as far as brand new?
Yeah, I think the scheme is terminology, and that thing's all new to them. I think it's been positive so far. I've gotten, talked to a lot of the guys and stuff, and they like what we're doing so far. I think it's been positive. Techniques, we're really emphasizing the techniques. I may call it something different, or teaching them some things there and stuff, but it's been good so far.
Back to JK, is there a thing or two that you've kind of pinpointed from last year that you'd like to get him better at X, Y, and Z?
I think, obviously just helping him get better in general. I mean, obviously speeding up his handle times a little bit. You've been working on that, and just continue to work his direction and his hang times, and try to force fair catch in those. I mean, that's really every punter, but there's a bunch of little things, but nothing like in particular. I mean, you just continue to progress him as he gets older.
Sean, you've got fresh eyes because you haven't been here. I'm just wondering if you look at film of this team in the past, why hasn't there been more production in the return game, and how much does that change a special teams group when you can pop some returns on kickoffs and punts?
I think it helps anytime you can flip the field with, it creates momentum for your team, number one, and then obviously the field position advantage is huge and stuff. I mean, you shorten the field, and, it helps our offense anytime. I can't say in particular because I wasn't here, so I don't know that. I mean, I know that I like our group right now, and we're continuing to progress, and we're gonna do the very best we can to be the best we can be. But I like where we're going so far. But I wasn't here in the past, so I couldn't fully answer that.
Do you have any pet peeves when it comes to your guys doing the right things? And are penalties a big pet peeve for you, especially?
Yeah. I mean, we really talk about penalty-free aggression, and then playing fast, physical, and intelligent. And the intelligent part is making good decisions and not making that block in the back. Nothing's going to kill a big return and bring it back than, having a penalty and stuff, or, starting to drive a negative drive off a penalty. So we really talk to them about making good decisions and putting yourself in the right position to make the block or finish the block, but then when to pull off too.
Sean, this might apply more to punt return, but when you say you're giving guys a lot of chances, does that include guys like Tremont and Jair at this point, or does that discussion happen later with Mike and Matt about, well, we know they can do it, but because of their other role, we may not want them to, or are they just in the mix as well with everyone?
They're in the mix with everyone. I mean, this is a time of year to get them as many catches in, and then through training camp and stuff, just to continue to evaluate and develop guys. I mean, to give everyone that chance to show what they can do. And again, we're trying to develop all 90 guys on the roster. And part of that is going through and getting those catches in and learning those fundamentals now.
Two more. Sean, is it important to have a special teams leader? In your other stops, was there that one guy that is kind of the tone setter? I don't know if Crawford can be that guy or who you see there, but what would that do for you guys to have?
I think it'd be huge. I mean, you're always trying to develop leadership. I think, the players can help set the standard just as fast as the coaches can. If you get an older group of players as the rookies come in, you have a few veterans step up that understand what we're trying to do and the philosophy and how we try to do things on a daily basis, and then they can take care of it from inside the locker room. The other stops we were at, I mean, we had, Phil Dawson, Josh Cribbs, Ray Ventrone, that when things aren't going the way they're supposed to, obviously we're going to get on them and hold them accountable as coaches, but when they hold themselves accountable, that's huge. So we're always trying to develop guys and just identify guys that have that leadership and that are totally bought in and will help us set the standard.
Can it be a young guy? I mean, Crawford was a rookie last year.
I think, it can be anybody. You got to go out there and do your job every day and make plays, and I think you'll earn the respect quickly in the room. And lead by example first, and then we'll find some of those vocal leaders. But we'll try to identify, and it doesn't matter what year you are. I mean, a leader's a leader.